every year in the spring we tend to rent a 50-foot boom lift to trim a lot of our trees.
Not only do we get some good work done, but we get to enjoy the views.
Last night was daylight savings, so we get a lot more time out of the day, which is convenient for the rental.
The dogs got to run around until after 7 o'clock. Happy pups.
Ember, fetch. Whoa, good girl.
It's still burn season. It's a good time to cut trees. It allows you to get way up in the trees. You got to work really strategically with this thing, especially right now. We're in this kind of draw along the fence line, and we've got to work in such a way that we can continue working and get the lift out of here without blocking our path that we're working towards. The tractor hitch attachment is handy for moving this thing around. However, because the weight is so far out in front of it and the soil's still pretty damp this time of year, it's nice to have some additional help to guide it in the right direction. The idea is to have the trees so the canopies aren't one. But this looks much better. It's important to be aware of where the lift is when you're dropping limbs so they don't fall in it. We run chainsaws a lot, and sometimes we move a little faster than we should. This tree is very diseased, as you can see, and I just cut this limb without back cutting it first, and it managed to grab my 660 and pull it out of my hands. Luckily the saw is okay, and so am I. Here's our neighbor Kevin, who's a certified amateur arborist, who's honestly would give any professional arborist a run for their money. He's comfortable hopping out of the lift and climbing up into the trees where we can't reach and doing a whole bunch of work for us. We sure appreciate him. It's nice having the tractor handy while Kevin's up there working to move the smaller brush out of the way so the bigger stuff doesn't land on top of it, making it harder to move. We still have to be strategic when Kevin's up there climbing. However, we have the ability to move the lift from out from under him, and he can just rappel down. We're moving on to another oak tree here that sort of sits above our house. We're always concerned that that limb could fall on a vehicle or lumber that we have piled under there sometimes. Not to mention, in the event of a wildfire, the densely packed canopy is kind of close to our home here.
While Bill and Kevin were up in the trees, Pearl and I went to the feed store and got 6 baby chicks. Because of the avian flu, the chicks are in very high demand right now, so we were really happy to have gotten them. We started some seedlings in our bathroom. Here you can see different types of tomatoes, kale, and peppers. We have a little chart so we don't forget where they are, and Pearl and I are walking the seedlings out for transplanting into little 1-gallon pots.
It's staying light a bit later, so we're out there trying to get the most out of the rental lift.
Alrighty.
Like, follow, and subscribe.